Hey guys, Dismal back here again, bringing you a new deck profile that I've been working on for a little while. Sorry I haven't uploaded in a while. I've just been a little sick. Still pretty sick right now, but gonna make some dual videos once Dev Pro's back up. I got a couple of more deck profiles I can put up, and I'll do a binder update pretty soon too. After I open that tin, you know, I got some stuff to trade. Excuse me. Anyways, let's go ahead and bust into the deck profile. It's really fun, really control, really derpy. This deck is just ridiculous. First off, you obviously start off with one rescue rabbit, you need it, and obviously triple heliotrope, that's your target for your rescue rabbit. Make sure your first turn Ophion plays, it's just too good, too strong. First turn Ophion is really hard to get over because you got that pandemic down, so it's just, or you can go first turn Exciton, and first turn Exciton is such a strong play, it's ridiculous. You obviously play 3 Evilswarm casters. He's your searchable by Rhoda, and when he gets normal summoned, he's like a floodgate. He opens up to plays because you get to get another normal summon, so he basically is also a first turn Ophion or 1 turn Synchro play, or Xyz play, my bad. I'm playing 2 Mandragora. I liked 3 because you can special summon it if your opponent has more monsters than you, so it doesn't have that condition of just having to have monsters. So if you don't have any monsters, it's really good. If you do, it's still really good. It opens you up to a lot of plays, and I would still play a 3rd one, but I have to make space for it. And I do know what I'd take out for a 3rd one, but it's just too good right now, and I'll tell you that later. Next card, 3 Evilswarm Karikion. He's your 1 turn Ophion play again, or 1 turn rank 4 Xyz play, because you can discard a Evilswarm to banish 1 in the graveyard, or banish 1 in the graveyard, and then get 1 from your graveyard back to your hand, and then you can normal summon him with his secondary effect. So banish 1, get caster back, normal summon caster, caster's effect, you can normal summon another one. It's pretty derpy. That is the end of the Evilswarms in the deck. Next I'm using 1 Thunder King Ryo. Yeah, it could hurt me, but first turn, going with it, it's really good because I can play around my own card. It's a little bit harder for my opponent to play around it, and he's a 19 beater, so it's pretty nice. This deck I'm using the Clown engine, so 1 Trick Clown, 2 Hat Trickers, and 2 Damage Jugglers. These are just too good not to play. They are ridiculously fast, and having them in the deck, they just have so much synergy with it. It makes such fast rank 4 plays, it's just explosive. A Damage Juggler, you can stop yourself from taking damage basically at any point during the turn, and when he's in your graveyard, you can banish him to search out any other one except him, so you get a Hat Tricker or a Trick Clown. And when Trick Clown is sent to the graveyard, pay 1,000 and special summon any Perform Mage from your graveyard, so you could even get back your Hat Tricker, which when you take damage from an effect like Trick Clowns, you can put a counter on, and once he's got 3 counters, he's a 3,300 beater. So pretty good. They have a lot of synergy with the deck, makes it really fast. That's the end of the monsters. Next we have the spell lineup, so triple Infestation Pandemic, obviously. It's a massive Forbidden Lance for Evilswarms. It's just ridiculous. It's really tough to play around when your opponent has this, so it's really good when you're playing against Evilswarms. They just say no to spells and traps. Triple Reinforcement of the Army to search out caster, and you know, I don't normally like to play 3 because it's only 3 monsters to search it, but you kind of need the speed in this deck. It's got to be really aggressive, and you know, a dead draw is a dead draw, but if you've got an already really well established field, it doesn't matter. Triple Upstart Goblin to add on to more consistency. Just, it doesn't matter if they get 1,000 life points or whatever, you still draw a card and you still get to set up your field, which makes it tough for them to get over. Make them play around you. This deck is all about the stun. 2 instant fusions because yes, you play Nodin in this deck, and Nodin is just too good right now not to play. I hate it, but I love it because he opens you up to so many plays. You can do Nodin, get your stuff back from the graveyard, get a hat tricker or trick clown back from the graveyard, make a play. It's a 1-turn rank 4 Xyz, and it really does save games. Next card, which is kind of techie, what I really like, 2 mask change 2s. Discard a card, get rid of a monster on your field that has an attribute, and special summon a fusion mask hero from your extra deck that has a higher level than that. So you just, any of your level 4 dark monsters, because you use Dark Law in here, and it's a quick play, so you can do it on your opponent's turn in response to something of theirs getting ready to go to the graveyard. Activation of an effect that would send something to the graveyard. Then they get to banish it. You get to banish it. You have Dark Law. 1 Soul Charge. You need Soul Charge in basically every deck. It's so good. You can't attack the turn you do it, but it really helps you establish field dominance, especially if you only pay 2,000 life points and go for an Exciton play and just blow up the field. That really sets your opponent back if you already have cards in your hand that's going to replenish that. So all you need is a Soul Charge and cards in hand, and you have advantage because then you'll still have your Exciton on field. This is my kind of techie card that I like, Pot of Dichotomy. You could cut this. I would probably cut this for another Mandragora if I was going to do anything. But it's kind of like Pot of Avarice for this deck because you've got warriors, spellcasters, plants, a thunder type. You've got a whole broad horizon of monsters. So this, yeah, you can't do your battle phase, but this will help recycle some of your resources if you've used up all of your Karikion targets, or you've used up all your Mandragoras, you've used all your casters, and you've still got a Rhoda. This will put that back in there and make that last Rhoda in your hand live. I'm only playing at 1 Dark Hole. I was playing it at 2, but I needed the space for another card, so it was really broke at 2 because you can go Dark Hole, Infestation, and your opponent loses everything and you lose nothing. It's really good. 1 Foolish Burial, it sets up for your graveyard, put your Trick Clown in there, get you started for an Xyz play. You know, it's a game starter. Really good. For the traps, we only use 5 traps. I'm using 1 Breakthrough skill. I kind of like it. I would cut it for another Fiendish Chain because I use 1 Fiendish Chain. But I like the added ability to have this in my graveyard. They can't MST this when it's in my graveyard to negate it. They have to have something that specifically negates my stuff in the graveyard. And Fiendish Chain just is too good. Fiendish Chain is better because it stops attacks and stuff, but it's got the added weakness of getting MST'd. If a Breakthrough skill gets MST'd, it doesn't hurt you. It goes to the graveyard. You get to use its effect anyway. So I use it as MST bait. 1 Floodgate, my Vanity's Emptiness. Love Vanity's Emptiness. Too good. Once you set up your Ophion on the field, it's really hard to play around it because Qliphorts can't get around Ophion for beans. So Ophion plus Vanities plus Infestation equals basically GG. Torrential Tribute, because going Torrential Tribute, Infestation, Pandemic, and they lose their whole field and you lose nothing is, again, too broke. And 1 Solemn Warning, because you need it. 2,000 life points to stop their summon. Really good. And you don't need the life points in this deck. So for the extra deck, we're using 3 Evilswarm Ophions. A lot of people like to use 2, and, you know, I like it at 3. Nobody expects the 3rd one. 3 is just too good. You detach 1, get Infestation, Pandemic to your hand, and Waz got XYZ material. Level 5 or higher monsters cannot be special summoned, so this stops all those Qli plays. Unless they're using lower tier. I'm using 2 Evilswarm Bahamut. I would cut it for another Exciton, which I do have another Exciton, but I like the way that it plays out because when I spam the field with my clowns and stuff and I go ahead and make this with my caster and stuff, I've still got stuff in my hand that's Evilswarm that I can discard and take their monster. So I really feel like it's good. I really liked the Big Eye effect because I play Harpies too, so I really like using Big Eye, and I like Bahamut. He is really trolly. Just one Exciton. Again, I would bump it to 2. I've got another one. I might bump it to 2. But right now, 1 seems pretty good for me. I don't normally go first turn Exciton, but it's a strong play. Just depends what you're playing against. 1 Diamond Direwolf, just to get over things. It says no. Pop itself, boom. Pop your opponent's card. Any card on the field that's in your way. 1 Gaga Cowboy, because that 800 life points damage just wins games. I've done it so many times. This deck can push for OTKs really hard, but sometimes you just don't have enough. And when you push for so close for game and your opponent's got like 600 life points, like, oh, does he have the Cowboy? They're really scared of the Cowboy. And if you've got it, you win. Because I've had games where I didn't have it, and I really, really wanted it. 1 number 50 Black Ship of Corn. You know, he's pretty trolly. I like him. Detach 1, get rid of, send a monster to the graveyard, and deal 1,000 damage. So he is a pretty good card, I'd say. I like using it against the meta right now. Somebody's got some weak stuff out, and just boom. It doesn't get destroyed. They don't get their destroy effects like Yang Zings. It just sends to the graveyard. 1 Abyss Dweller, because it'll also say no to Yang Zings. I hate stuff in the graveyard. My opponent, no. And last for the XYZs, 1 Castel, the Sky Blaster, because you need it to send people stuff back to their hand. It's too good. Or you can put their stuff in defense, so you can Book a Moon stuff twice, or you can just send something back to their hand. Last cards, fusions. 2 Nodens. Like I said, when he's special summoned, you can get another monster back from your graveyard. So he's instant fusion, 1,000 life points, instant rank 4 XYZ. And the last 2, playing 2 Dark Laws because he's 2 boss. When he's on the field, any card your opponent would send to the graveyard instead gets banished. So he's really a control play. So I like being a control player sometimes. I really prefer to play like swarm decks like Harpies and stuff, and this is kind of like a mix. This is a control swarm deck, and it's really good. It's been really consistent in testing, so I would recommend it. If you don't like this build, YuGiOh has a build on his channel that is pure clown swarms, and I just used the trick clowns in here. His is more centered around it because he doesn't use like Dark Law and stuff, so he's probably got more consistency in speed, but I think the added control of Dark Law just makes this deck more versatile. If you enjoyed this video, like it, give it the thumbs up, comment, rate, subscribe, and you'll hear a little bit more out of me here pretty soon. I'll be feeling better in the next couple of days, I'm sure, and I'll be able to bust out a couple more deck profiles and a binder video, so look forward to that, and thanks for watching.